Where do old programmers go? Zuckerberg doesn't stop amaze people. If you agree, hit the like button and let's begin. Many assume that ageism primarily exists at the recruitment stage. But what if you already have a job within a company but happen to be over 30, 40 or 50? The truth is that training and promotion opportunities may not go your way if you are older. They might be offered to younger staff who are considered to be a better investment to the employer, while older staff is alienated. The truth behind ageism in the tech industry is that it exists. Even though everybody keeps telling you that it's never too late to get into the IT or to get into the tech industry, and in many cases it isn't, the situation is entirely different for those who have been years in the industry and who are already senior IT professionals, and not senior by professional experience only, but senior by age. It all starts with Silicon Valley obsession with young people and younger staff, and it already has come to this stage when people in the tech industry in their 20s turn to plastic surgeons in order to look younger. The ugly truth is that if there are no references and nothing depends on older developers, they get garbage collected. As is, in some environments, if they have good references and if there is no one to replace them, for example, if they work on a project where there is some particular stack of technologies that only this older developer knows, they will hold their positions. But just in this case, if they have references and if there is no one to replace them. It's not all that black though, as long as you happen to prove that you're viable, that you're a quick learner, that you can come up with a solution, you will continue to pick up work. Truth be confessed, there is a lot of ageism in tech industry, which is extremely annoying, especially given that the demand for young specialists is skyrocketing, and in many cases those young specialists are not well trained enough, and many young programmers, they have actually no clue about what real programming is like. They lack knowledge in machine architectures, what is actually IT and how IT operates, and they lack basic academic knowledge, which is extremely common these days. However, there are a lot of shops out there that don't really care how old you are until you deliver results. There is a common rule in each and every profession and business. Nobody cares how good you were 3 years ago and what you did 3 years ago. You're only as viable as your last gig. By the way, let me know in the comments if this is something you agree with or disagree, and why. So if you can keep up with the fast-changing IT environment, if you keep your mind alive and proactive, and if you're ready to absorb new knowledge daily, you most probably will keep your job until you need it. However, another harsh truth is that not everybody can do as much, because even if your mind does not betray you, your body will. Aging is no picnic, and sometimes, even if you're willing to go the extra mile, you physically cannot keep up with the younger competitors, or no longer want to participate in rat race of the tech industry. Whatever it be, your energy levels are not the same as those from your young competitors, and you should keep that in mind when you try to outbeat your competition, because in this case, you will have to outbeat them with something else. So what are the options senior IT specialists and tech specialists have when they come of age in their industry? And basically the options are like 6 to 7, and the first one is to go into a management role. With more experience and more responsibilities come more pay, and many enjoy having a higher pay in their senior years. So many tech specialists figure out how to become leaders and managers in their industry, in their companies, and some work their ways up to the VP or CTO and actually make significant amounts of money in their late years in the industry. Another option would be going into consulting, coaching, mentoring, or teaching. That is different than management. It means that you can go and start teaching students at your local college or at offline or online courses, either part-time or full-time, that's all on you. Or start freelancing, and freelancing sometimes pays even more than a salaried position. But of course there are some other issues, for example, greater risk and specific skill set that you will need in order to be a great freelancer. And you should keep in mind that being a freelancer, you will always have to be on the lookout for new projects, because In many cases, your projects won't last like more than several months, and then you will have to be on the lookout for another project, or there are some smaller projects even that take you like up to a couple or few weeks, and then you will have to try and look for something else. However, with that risk comes greater pay and expectations to deliver better, and also freedom from specific deadlines and corporate environment, something that senior specialists start to hate in their late career years. The third option would be going into entirely other fields. Some programmers find it extremely dull to just code day after day their entire lives, and sometimes it even leads to burnout. By the way, if you want to learn more about professional burnouts, you might want to check out this video of mine where I talk about it in more details. In those cases, the change of the career might be the right change of pace. And the options here are numerous, because I know some people that changed their career drastically and left the IT for good and started something entirely different. The next option would be take your collected earnings and retire. And some programmers, as they earn well, they manage to retire as early as, say, 35 years old. Now, a side note here is that, of course, you make more as a programmer or as an IT specialist, but that is only possible if you manage your earnings well and not just spend them the way they come, the way they go. Of course, it depends heavily on where do you live and how much you earn. And of course, it is easier for you if you work, say, in a startup and own their stocks. And of course, if that startup grows, you end up being quite a wealthy person after you quit from that startup and sell your shares. This way you can retire decades before others do and do whatever you please with your life, and then again might be either continue working in the IT industry or do something entirely different with your life. And this is where the next option comes from, because many retired programmers, many retired tech workers still program and still work, but on their own terms. It might be a part-time job, it might be freelancing, or it might be even a full-time position, but perhaps a remote position, so that they don't have to put up with anything that has irritated them in the office, in the corporate environment, because that's something that many people try to avoid when working in the tech industry for years, and that's something that they won't miss in their senior years. So many programmers still continue working after they retire because they enjoy it, because they don't want to do anything else, because they love what they do. So they continue working just like everybody else. The next thing senior programmers might want to try is to start their own company. A programmer or a tech person might want to strike on their own and try to start their own company. And this sort of correlates with the freelancing part, because once a person have tried an individual approach to each customer, and once they sense what it is like to look for customers, to solve the problems individually, they might have got some sort of taste for it, and they might have thought, why not sell someone else time rather than my own and make money from it. Now, this isn't a guaranteed path to riches, but for those who can make it work, that's a life-changing decision. And I talk a lot about how to start an IT outsourcing company on my channel, so you might want to check out these playlists of mine where I talk in details how to start an IT company, what are the documents, the legal documents that you would need, how to manage your finances individually, where to better register your company, where to find the right stuff, and so on and so forth. If this is the option you want to take, make sure to check out these playlists with some gold mines of information inside. Subscribe to not miss the new comings, and give me a like if you like this video, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. See you soon. Bye.